Hello and welcome to Evening Afterglow. This is a time when we reflect together briefly on the message from last Sunday night, a message that I tried to preach. And we're going through the book of James, and we finished chapter 1 on Sunday evening with verses 26 and 27. This is a very, very interesting passage. It's a passage about caring for other people. It talks about what real religion is. And by the way, there are three key things that are given in these two verses about what real religion is. Watch your mouth, watch your tongue, and don't be stained by the world, and really, really care genuinely about others who are hurting and vulnerable. Well, I'm going to save my comments about the tongue for chapter 3 because chapter 3 has a real good passage on the tongue. So we'll save this part for chapter 3. Chapter 4 is really about worldliness. There's a strong statement there about Christians not being worldly. So I'm going to save my comments about not being stained by the world for chapter 4. But I want to comment today with you about this message of caring for hurting people. And in particularly, the passage talks about widows and orphans. And this is a good verse that fits in with the biblical genre and motif of caring for widows and orphans and those who are strangers. You find this in the Psalms. Several passages talk about that. And in Deuteronomy, the second giving of the law of God, the law of Moses, said that Israel was to have particular concern for those who were vulnerable in their culture. And it stipulated those ladies who had no husbands, the widows, their husbands had died, and orphans, children who had no parents for whatever the reason, either the parents had died or abandoned them, and then strangers, sometimes translated aliens. And what that word means is people from other countries and other lands that lived in Israel. And obviously there was some vulnerability there. These classifications of people were at real risk, and God cared for them, and He put it in His law in the Old Testament that they're supposed to take care of them. Now, it's real interesting because this past Sunday night we were ordaining a young man to the deaconship in our church, and the deacon ministry is about serving. It's about caring for people in the church family in their time of need. So it really raised a key issue. To be a Christian means we care for other people. And I want to press that today with you. I want to encourage you and encourage myself to take the time and make the efforts to care for people in need, whoever they are. And in particular, let's think about our homebound people, our sick people who are in situations in life where they really need someone to help them. It's very important that we remember them. Jesus did. He helped them, He healed them, He cared for them, and He teaches us to do the same as we follow Him in discipleship. It doesn't have to be a big deal sometimes. Maybe it's bake a pie. Maybe it's send a card. Hey, how about making a phone call just to see how they're doing? Or pray for them when you go and talk to God in prayer every day. It could be big things like helping build a wheelchair ramp for those who are in wheelchairs and need help to get into their houses. There are 1,000 things it could be. But it all centers on one thing. We care about people. I want to encourage you today, whether you're an adult, a teenager, or a child, to think about what can I do for someone who has a need this week. And if we would think about that every week, God will use us in doing some pretty special things for other people. I'm glad you've joined us today. I hope that'll be a challenge to you, as it is indeed a challenge to myself. God bless you. And I look forward to talking to you again on another topic next time on Evening Afterglow.